What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Kenn's Questions. Of course, today I have a very special guest. We're talking about something that is near and dear to my heart. One of my last videos, you'll notice that I went to Epic Universe. And as I guess you could call myself a theme park junkie, per se. You name the theme park in Florida, I have been to it. Whether it's Busch Gardens, SeaWorld, Universal Disney, I've been to all of them. Fun Spot, I've been to pretty much every single theme park in Florida, including Six Flags Atlantis when it was down in Hollywood. So I enjoy the theme parks, but I wanted to get back more into themes that I like and that I enjoy. So of course, what's the use of having a show called Ken's Questions where you can't answer a question about one of those things that you actually love. So I have a special guest with me today, Mr. Andre. Andre, if you would introduce yourself to the folks.
So my name is Andre, and a lot of the same things that you just said about yourself, same with me. I've had a love of theme parks since I was a kid, and been to so many different ones. A lot of it on the East Coast, of course, where I grew up in New York, and then also since I came down to Florida, it was my dream to go to the parks here, and I do as much as I can.
So speaking of New York, since you brought that up,
yes.
I just got back from New York a couple weeks ago, hanging out with my son for his birthday.
Nice.
One of the days that he planned out was for us to go to Coney Island. Never been there before at all. He was like, Dad, it's cool. You'll like it. I didn't think I would probably ride a ride. We never went, so I'll throw that out there.
Yeah.
But as someone who is from New York, have you been to Coney Island?
I have not gone to the location, to the amusement park there.
Yes.
Of course, it's classic location. It's in every movie that's set in New York, pretty much. Because I was a kid most of the time, I left when I was 18, so I didn't go to the city very often. So it wasn't until I was when I graduated from high school, I came to Florida that's when I was like, okay, this is my thing. But it did start from there, from my grandmother, which was pretty cool. Like, she's the one that kind of got us into really just going to the parks.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where really the passion started from. Anytime we would go visit and stay with my grandmother, like during summertime, she would take us to the little parks that were on Long Island. So there was one actually right in the town. And as I was researching to remember, like, where was that place she took us to? And then realized the reason why she was, because that was probably the only place for kids that were in the neighborhood. Yeah. So that was like really vivid to me. I remember like riding the carousel that had the rings, the brass ring that you can get and stuff like that. So that's where real art started, and then evolved from there.
So at least you had like a connection.
Yes.
That brought back those memories.
Exactly.
For me, it was more so, hey, you live in Florida, you're from Florida. I have a picture it's over at my brother's house. And each one of us, me and my brother, have these photo albums. And in this photo album, it's a picture of me as a baby. My sister is standing next to me. I'm in a stroller. And I believe my aunt is in the picture. Disney World. So at the front, before you walk in, and my parents were able to expose us to these great places, and also I believe my uncle worked at Miami Seaquarium.
Okay.
If he didn't work there, we went a lot. So that I definitely remember.
Nice.
So you kind of get it ingrained from hey, let's hop in a car and go up there, of course, famously Wally World from National Lampoon.
Yeah, thankfully we didn't have any experience like that,
I hope nobody had an experience like that.
But you always think about it, too. And, you're at a park. My aunt would take me. We would go to, the carnivals and stuff like that that came to town, stuff like that. And then we would just joke and, reenact some of the things from that movie just as laughing at each other. And, so it was always fun to be able to, know that, thankfully, that was just a movie. And sure, probably various things happen to people, of course, but we would just joke about, that happening and showing up. After we planned for weeks and then showing up and it's not being open, we're like, what?
I always feel bad for people that only went to the South Florida Fair.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I haven't been to, any of these theme parks. I'm like, to only experience a place where a ride breaks down and load on the back of a truck and then it's gone.
I fear those. I got to the
Me
point,
too.
like, you know what? There's always a chance that something can happen. You always can see online all these different things at major theme parks across the world. But with that, I'm like, there's not engineers necessarily putting this thing together to make sure it's going to stay up. So I opt to not go to those things and save my time to go to the
The
real parks.
bolt is missing.
The bolt is missing.
It's like,
Yeah,
man.
you're watching a YouTube video somewhere where a person's like
Off
chain of a swing goes like this.
It's Final Destination.
Exactly.
It's like, no,
Yeah.
man, I'm
No.
good. I don't want to deal with nothing
Yeah.
like that at all.
And it surprised me because like because I love the park so much.
Yes.
When we hear like friends stuff like that go, I've never been. The last time I was at Disney World was when I was 3, and I'm like, why are you so deprived? You know, like call me, we will go. I will take you around. I'll be your best, your best theme park guide, and be there with you. And it just shocks me. You know, of course, there's people that are like, well, I'm going to Vegas. I go to this. I'm like, okay, I get you. You know, I'm like, did you ride the roller coaster in New York, New York? And they're like, no. Yeah. So it'll always be like, I'll ask them those questions of like, you got to fit a theme park in somewhere.
Would you consider yourself a Disney adult?
So this is interesting you asked, and I really wanted to think about it a lot. So, I mean, ultimately, it's all very derogatory when it comes to that.
Yes.
You know, it's a place for kids,
Yes.
and then especially not having kids. So it's like even that, it's like a Disney adult that has no kids.
Yeah.
I fully embrace it. I'm totally fine with it. There was a survey recently that were like, what do you define as a Disney adult, and what is that the difference is? And I'm like, for me, the biggest thing that I thought over time, and just the observation that you see when families are there,
Mm-hmm.
and then how the kids are having a miserable time, I'm like, a Disney adult is a person that has experienced the parks before,
Mm-hmm.
has grown to love them, and appreciates them for what they are, and the magic that it brings, and you have to be old enough to be able to appreciate that. Because there's so many kids that get dragged that they're having a horrible time, or that, they spend thousands of dollars to go to these once-in-a-lifetime trips, and then all they want to do is stay at the pool at the hotel. So, like, I feel like when you become a Disney adult, if you had the passion for it as a kid, it just keeps going.
Yeah.
This, honestly, it's one of my most favorite things. I spend a lot of time just, like, watching YouTube videos and stuff like that, and then any opportunities I get to go. Yeah, we live 2 hours away from this, but I have the passes when I can say, okay, I have a day off, let's just go for the day. Right. Like that. So, I don't think there's anything wrong with being a Disney adult. I think we need to have some of that, like, childhood wonder in our lives. We have to deal with so much stress. And for me, honestly, going to the parks is my therapy. So I don't have a therapist. I don't do any online stuff like that. But when I know that I'm, like, getting close to my limit, I have to take a trip to the park. And, my husband knows it too. And so now that he can't really go with me very often, he understands. I'm like, this is my therapy. I just need time to get away. I need somebody to have, like, treat me the way I treat our customer, my customers in my job. So things like that. I'm like, I want to be the one that's being taken care of, so, and it's just fun. I love it. It's something different. You definitely get a feel when you're a Disney adult. You have, when you're driving to it, and you get, like, your body just, like, transforms, like everything washes away, and you just go, okay, I'm on the turnpike going to Disney, Yeah.
Now, of course, you mentioned YouTube.
Yes.
And, of course, full disclosure, you have a YouTube channel.
My fledgling YouTube channel just starting out. Yes, I'm very excited. So, as much as I would love to be there every weekend and be for every event, and, of course, the fear of missing out when it comes to seeing all the media events and, like, who works at the parks? Let me see if I can do these things. So, yeah, I'm really trying to get my channel going. So, it's Theme Park Go. So, I have a YouTube channel, and then also have Blue Sky. And I've had it and actually I've had a website for a long time, but when I was starting to share it with people, they're like, why don't you just post it on YouTube? Like, right? I was like, go to my website. I'm like, I don't remember how to upload videos. Am I still paying for this thing? So ultimately, yeah. So I'm really just trying to get it going, and the last bit of stuff I have up there. So I actually have 40 followers now. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Getting there. And then
and y'all should go follow Andre.
Yeah. Theme Park Go.
If you follow me, please go and follow Andre.
Yeah.
It's definitely worth it, especially if you like the theme parks.
Yeah. So and I haven't really been in the shots yet or anything like that. I'm really just that point of view type of thing, walking around, just kind of getting the feel for how to do it.
Yeah.
Because I know when I did go to Epic Universe's preview, I was so overwhelmed that I got back with all the footage. I'm like, why am I why am I shooting for 20 minutes the floor? Like, did I forget to turn the camera off? Things like that. So when I went to opening day, I was like, okay, I'm going to, no matter how crazy it is, I'm going to let everybody do their thing, and I'm going to try my best to actually take as much good footage as I can. So I feel like I got some decent stuff there this time around. So
Yeah, it's as a creator, it's tough.
Yeah.
Because you have to be creative.
Correct.
And
Yeah.
the part of that is you always got in the back of your head, who wants to watch this?
Right.
Would I watch this?
Mm-hmm.
Is it entertaining? And what is someone going to get out of it? What's the benefit?
Right.
You know, because otherwise I'm just spinning my wheels and wasting my time.
Yeah.
You know, I kind of, as someone who's been in this space, I've been in this space since 2018. And even me starting, I didn't want to do this. I didn't. It was suggested to me, and I thought it. I was like, I'm not doing it. Leave me alone. Shout out to Flacco. I don't talk about Flacco a lot, but Flacco's one of my old coworkers, and she would just like whisper in my ear, YouTube calling you, YouTube calling you, YouTube calling you, and it's like, okay, I guess YouTube calling me.
Yeah.
And sure enough, started it. Here I am, still doing it. It was one of those things where the advice that I gave to people, I saw that people appreciated that advice. So I was like, okay, hey, let me continue just on a larger scale.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm just finding your angle on something, and that's one of the things that's held me back for so long, because I've wanted to have, like, there was, for the longest time, like, people would ask me, like, what do you want to do when you grow up? I'm like, I wanted to travel the world, go to every theme park, and write about it. And then, of course, and this is way before the YouTube days, things like that. So and then when I would go to the parks, I would take pictures and things like that, but it was never really any place to share it as much. Like, yeah, there was, you know, the internet was, like, really young, too, so there was not a lot of there, you know, so it was tough. And then as it progressed and YouTube became a thing, and then everybody had a channel. So I was like, now how am I supposed to compete with every person that has a channel for these parks? They live there. They got, you know, every day there's a new post that they're putting on there. I'm like, how am I supposed to compete with this?
Right.
So then I finally had to get past it and go, like, I have enough footage that I've taken over the years. Mm-hmm. I can just post it. It could be simply for me. If I have not one follower, so be it. But at least I'm making the effort to do it. And then if I have friends that go, oh, you just came back from this? I'm like, yeah, you want to see the videos? Go to my YouTube channel. And that's how I got to 40, you know? So it's really, ultimately, the YouTube channel is for me to document things. And ultimately, when you think back, well, there'll be a time when I can't do the parks anymore.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make sure I'm documenting everything. Because even when my husband was able to go, he'd be like, why are you always taking videos and photos? I'm like, this is archiving. This is documenting everything we do, because we can then look back at these times. And even to this day, when I look back at just things a few years ago, or New Year's Eve when we spent at Epcot, things like that, it brings a lot back to me. Like, it really touches my heart very much.
Yes.
And it excites me when I get to talk to people about it. Believe me, when I'm listening to YouTube channels and podcasts of people talking about parks, I am speaking like I'm talking in the room with them. You know, I'm interacting with them, and it's just, you know, so when you asked me to come do this, it was, like, really special for me to go, like, hey, this is cool for us to hang out and just be able to talk about it.
Oh, yeah.
So I appreciate that.
And this is just one of those things that I don't consider myself a Disney adult, but the amount of times that I've been there, this was my connection to my son. So you got to imagine, you know, I'm working. And by the time I get home.
Yeah, what is there to do? Sleeping, right?
You know,
in front of the television.
And this was our way of bonding. This was our way of getting out of the house. This is our way of, and I got a really good friend of mine. Thank you so much, Reggie. But Reggie has worked at Disney for a very long time. I dragged him to the park, and was like, hey, me and my son want to go.
Yeah. And
it got to the point where we still can do all four in one day. We could knock it out. And it's one of those things where I was like, we got to get to the point where we could just get all this stuff done in this small amount of time. And we could do it.
Yeah. It takes time to really be able to find that process, because ultimately it's very overwhelming, especially when we talk Disney. There's a lot of things you can do there.
Yeah.
People go, how do you go to Disney all the time? Like, you can go every day for a month and not really hit everything.
You're correct.
So then when you have somebody that is on that same page with you, and this is kind of one of the things that is a benefit of going by yourself at times. Like, don't be afraid to do stuff by yourself.
Single rider line.
Single rider is a dream. Yeah, exactly like that. So then you find the way. So even the times when I was able to do things, and if like we planned to, okay, we're going to go with some people, I know that I can step back and go, I'm going to recommend things, but I can let them enjoy it and just not worry about it because I know I can come back, get annual passes. So it's never a matter of like, I have to be here, I have this amount of time, I've got to do a spreadsheet. It helps to have some plan to a degree, but there's the beauty of it is being able to just enjoy it and just take it as it comes.
Right.
Because each day can be slightly different, and if you want to go and tackle all 4 parks, you can. There are people that will fly from California to Orlando and then Orlando back to California and be able to do both parks, both Disney. And if you want to do it, you do it,
Yeah.
So it's just having that really, it just goes back to the passion for it and finding that that's something you love. There's people that love sports. There's people that love traveling. There's, whatever it is, everybody has something. And then, just when you find that and you can really put the energy into it. So for us, we're not doing a lot of traveling and things like that, but I know I can allot for like, this is my plan for this time of year. Halloween Horror Nights for Universal, I usually will plan for that. Yeah, that's my jam. So that, to my birthday, like it's a tradition that had happened years ago where Disney at one time they were giving out like you get a free ticket for your birthday. So I was able to take advantage of that, and I was like, do I go? Do I not go? And then at work, one of the people one of the customers had told me like, just do it. So I did. I just went, got in the car, drove, and it was just for the day. And then at that point, I was like, okay, now here's my tradition to be able to go and do this every year. So I try to make a point to do it every year on my birthday. Or if it's some, if family visits during that time frame, then I'll make sure it's around that time just to keep that tradition going. And then it's nice because it's not during the busiest time of year, so I just get to enjoy it. And it's not hot yet. And it's in March, so it's a great time. Yeah, it's really fun.
But I always, you said it yourself. You're documenting. You have videos. Yeah. I let as many people know as I can to also do that because my parents are gone. I don't have a lot of videos.
Right.
I got photos, but I would kill to have those videos.
Right.
It's just the interactions, the voice, the taking you back to that moment instead of kind of placing yourself there by looking at a photo.
Right.
I'm like, man, okay, yeah, okay. You're replaying back that moment because you're watching it.
Right.
And that makes a huge difference.
Exactly.
So like you said, as far as the therapy and things like that, this kind of about therapy.
Yeah.
It helps out as far as being able to have discussions like this. It's, being able to say, I have a show that I control and I get to do what I want.
Right.
And of course, everybody know I'm on another show. But I let people know that show, which I love, Hits, Cuts, and Bruises. And that's my other baby. But I'm kind of limited on discussions I can have. I'm limited on the guests I can have, the topics, because it's a different kind of show.
Yeah.
I'm a piece of it, but it's not mine. I got 2 other people to discuss and delegate with and decide what we want to do as a collective.
Right.
I can't just sit there and just force all of my ideas. So would my audience on that platform enjoy something like this? Some may, but...
Yeah, if they enjoy it and they're like, wow, it's a good crossover, of course. Yeah.
But otherwise, no. That's why I like doing my show. The vast array of topics that I've covered, it's all stuff that I've had questions about. And that's, not only do I field questions from other people, but it's the questions that I like. It's things that I'm interested in.
Yeah, exactly.
So I have a question for you. Okay. Now, each park, right? Because you have access to all 4 Disney parks, as well as all 3 Universal.
I have 2 right now. One Epic.
But you have
it's going to be 3. So yeah, So as far as like annual passes, I do have annual pass for Disney. I have my annual pass for Universal, and yes, I have favorite rides. Obviously, it's tough to narrow down to one,
Yes,
but I do. So do you want to go down the list?
I want favorite ride in each park.
Okay, so let's start with Walt Disney World.
Okay.
So at the Magic Kingdom,
Yes.
my favorite ride there is Haunted Mansion.
Okay.
It's a classic. I love it. I love scary stuff. That's why I love Halloween Horror Nights. It was a toss up too because there's so many things that you love there too. Big Thunder Mountain's great too, but ultimately, if it was like we're stopping in just for one ride to go on, it would be Haunted Mansion because it's one of the classics. It's still the original part of Disney, even though there's so much evolution that's happening. We know that parks are never going to stay the same. Things that people really love are going to go away. You know, who knows, someday maybe the Haunted Mansion will be gone. So let's enjoy it now. Hopefully, I mean, that's one of their best things. So I doubt that's going to go anywhere anytime soon. But it's going to have a new neighbor, so when they do the full update in Frontierland. So it's going to be exciting to see. But yeah, that would be my absolute best ride there. Going to Epcot, the next park. So that's had a lot of evolution and de-evolution, and then now it's trying to come back again.
Yes.
On a side note with that one, I got to go with family to Magic Kingdom and Epcot in 1987. So I was lucky enough to get to see the original Epcot.
Okay.
So I got to do all those things. So now, obviously, it's changed dramatically there. So my favorite one now, surprisingly, is Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind.
Yes.
I was anticipating it to be cool and great.
Yes.
And that building is huge, and it was taking a long time to be built. And there was not a lot of spoilers, as far as what it was going to be, until it got a little bit closer. But riding that ride, so if you love Space Mountain, because Space Mountain's a fantastic ride, but it's shown its age. That rattles me too much now. I'm too old for that. I'm getting to that point where I'm like, oh, I'm too old for roller coasters. So when you get brand new technology, it is so well themed. It's so well controlled. Yes, you have risk of motion sickness, but it's like you're flying. It's so smooth. It's awesome. I love it. It's great. It's so much fun. And I'm glad now they're finally allowing for just standby queue, so you didn't have to get So believe me, I fought for them every time I was there. Luckily, I got them, and I think Iran is the one main song that I get most times, but it's so much fun. It's good. It's a great job.
Miami Sound Machine.
Yeah, Congo
September. Everybody Wants to Rule the World.
I've had that a couple times.
So I've had
pretty much everyone. Yeah. I think probably most of them. Maybe 3 out of the 4. I think it's only 4. I can't remember.
Don't get me started.
Yeah. And then, so moving on to the next one, which is Hollywood Studios.
Yes.
Tower of Terror. Again, my favorite. Scary stuff. Twilight Zone, Tower of Terror. So much fun. It's so well themed. I love I understand and I love the fact that the California park in California Adventure, they changed theirs to Guardians of the Galaxy, which looks really cool. The tone's so different, so it's more fun, even though it's meant to be scary, to a degree. But
have you been on that one?
I have not been on that one. I haven't been to California. That's the one thing. I've been to California, but never to the Disney parks, and it was something I had actually planned for my 50th, and then just didn't work out. But I love just the vibe there, the music that plays in the queue, the fact that it is tied to the Twilight Zone, so it's got all the Easter eggs in there. It's so much fun. And I got to ride it from when it first opened, so not the first day, but got to see the evolution of the ride system, the way that it actually can move the elevator, because it's not just a gravity drop, it's actually controlled. So that's why you can go up and down. So if anybody's not experienced it, it's a controlled drop, so they can actually have different types of experiences. So they'll do a different type of drop, and they'll have a drop sequence that they've programmed in for a certain amount of time. So it's always slightly different ride every time you go. And they've added different type of effects. And then, of course, ours is the original one, so it actually has the fifth dimension, which is the one where it leaves the original, the first elevator shaft. It goes across into this scene, and then moves into the second elevator shaft. So it actually goes up to 2 floors, and then moves across, and then goes into the main drop shaft. Yeah. So that's the only one that has that. The ones that's Guardians of the Galaxy and California Adventure, that's just one shaft. Well, there's 2 or There's two shafts there, but it starts in that same one. So you load in there, and then it brings you up and down. But ours actually has a place where it moves. So it's all controlled by the GPS. It's got the little wires in the floor, so the whole ride system moves out of the main shaft, drives itself into the other one, and then goes to the other side. It's rad. And then actually, on a side note with that, I got to do like behind the scenes tour at Disney one year for my birthday, and they took us over there to kind of check that out and give us the secrets about it too. So yeah, so that's always gonna be my favorite because it's spooky, it's fun, it's gorgeous. I love it. A lot of the merchandise is cool too.
I'm more of a Rise of Resistance. You know.
It was tough. Yeah, it was tough. This Rise of Resistance is incredible too. I hear that thankfully a lot of the effects are back again.
Yeah. They're actually working.
Yeah, which is really nice. Yes, it's fantastic. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's so tough, but the Tower of Terror has always been my favorite. So, and even times if I go and I just don't get a chance to go on it, or if I'm with people that don't want to ride it and things like that, just the fact that it's there, I'll like take pictures of it. I've taken millions of pictures of it already. I'm like, oh, this got a new camera. Let me try a new picture, or let's do it at night. So moving on to the next one. So Animal Kingdom. Mm-hmm. And again, there's a fantastic ride that I absolutely love that's there. But I have to still give it to Expedition Everest. Okay. Because it is gorgeous. It's so much fun. It's another roller coaster. I do have love for roller coasters. Like even though I said I'm getting to a point where sometimes it's a little much. Like on that roller coaster going, oh my gosh. But the design of it's so cool. The queue to it. Animal Kingdom is such an amazing park as it is. It's like a great place just to explore. That's really awesome. Flight of the Passage would be my second choice. I never thought I'd ever enjoy any rides related to
Avatar.
Avatar, yeah. But then I was very surprised when it finally came and it wasn't so heavily relying on the movie that I fell in love with it. And we went to it when it was around the first month of opening, and we waited 2.5 to 3 hours at one time, and it was worth it. It was absolutely worth it. Will we do it 3 hours now? No, because I've ridden it so many times. But it's a fantastic ride. But Single rider. Yeah, now it's got single rider.
Single rider.
Yeah. Disney's a little bit rough with single riders. They don't have it much. Yeah, right. You know? So it's always a chance, like, you go and do it. Is it worth it? You know, is it short enough for line? But sometimes if it is, even if I have to wait like an hour, I'm still fine with it. But as far as like the classic roller coaster ride that's there, and it's just fun. It's a really unique way it's done. And I got to see the Yeti before it was Disco Yeti. So the Yeti used to move.
Yes.
And now it's not just flashing lights.
The swipe at you.
Yes, yeah. Which would, whatever the rumors are that it's cracking the foundation for the movements. But anyway, and Joe Rohde had everything to do with it, the designer for it. So, it's always going to be in my heart for that one. So that's Disney. Are we talking about? We're going to switch over to the other parks, Universal. Okay, so when it comes to the original park in the studios, so Universal Studios Park.
Fast and Furious.
Never. Counting the days like this was down. Now, not to be so. On the side note to that,
that sucks.
All right. Universal Hollywood has opening up to Hollywood Drift.
Yes.
That is how you do a attraction for Fast and Furious.
Yes. You
don't have to love the movies. You just have to know it's about cars, and then you ride in cars that drift. Great, perfect, awesome. Why did they have to take a piece of the studio tour from California and build a giant building of it?
So horrible.
And then put us through that? Terrible. Yeah. So no, never know. Though I'm like, sometimes I'll go, is it really that bad? And then I have to go back and find out that it is. Yeah, I'm like, great. The favorite ride there is Revenge of the Mummy.
Yes.
Again, roller coaster.
Yes.
But
yes,
they called it initially the sensory thrill ride or something like that originally, because it has little show scenes in there too. It's so much fun. Yes. It's got a whole backstory. I was in the park at the day they did the grand opening for it. Mm-hmm. I didn't get to see like the full thing because it was like blocked off for people, but.
Was Brendan Fraser there?
He was, yeah. Okay. And I think Arnold Vosloo was there as well.
Okay.
But we caught it I think we just got there late and then it had already been done, but there was still like things going on. So that was, I love that one. And I know you can take a tour. I've never done the tour. So a lot of the attractions you can ask the shouldn't say cast members there. That's not cast members Disney.
Team.
The team members over at Universal who work there, you can ask them, like in Men in Black, you could do a tour, and you can do a tour of that one as well, where they can take you in, you can see the track and stuff like that. And,
really?
yeah, so,
okay.
And it doesn't cost anything. You just have to ask. If they have the time, they have enough people working, they can bring you in. So I've never done that, but yeah, that's still a fantastic ride. I still remember originally what was there and riding the King Kong attraction, which was fantastic. But thankfully, it got to have a worthy replacement and a little King Kong idols in one of the main scenes, the first scene, as a tribute to the previous ride. So, and I always love that. Little behind the scenes stuff. Yeah. You'll see me sometimes, you're like, why are you looking all the other directions? I'm like, I'm trying to see how they made it. How'd they do it? What does that do? How's that track move? What's that? After I've ridden enough, I want to know like how it's done. So I love that. So moving over to Islands.
I'm just going to add.
Oh yeah, stop me. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. Yeah.
For me, for me,
it's so excited.
It's Escape from Gringotts.
That.
Tough. That's me.
Yes, good one.
Yes.
And that is probably my favorite Potter ride.
Okay.
Of the three main ones, not counting Hagrid's.
All right.
Even though that's.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, okay.
Is that your next
so
one?
now we're going. Yeah, we're like, where are we going? We're going to Islands Adventure. That was tough too because, and again, Islands Adventure. I followed the building of that one. It was before YouTube. It was like they even had like webcams that they used to point at the park as it was like being built, and I watched that at my job where I had a computer, and I was like, let me have a little window in the corner to look at at that. And then when I'd go, I'd tell my friends, I'm like, I'm gonna be in the video. Go look, and I wait. And so I have such a love for that because they did. Back then, there wasn't a ton of. There was really no social media and stuff like that, so it wasn't like everybody was in on it like it was today. So when they offered like soft openings, they just had like signs up saying like soft opening, you want to pay $40 to come over and check it out? So I had gone with my cousin and his girlfriend at the time. And I was like, you want to go over there? And like, no, we're gonna hang over there. I'm like, okay, peace. Like, I'll meet you back in a few hours. So I went over there and got to ride. Even before they were still painting, and on the Hulk, they didn't even put the turnstiles in like where they would just take a rope and put it in front of them. Like, okay, pull the rope away and go, okay, got the ride, and they put it back. And then I rode Spider-Man, and we get off the ride and they're like, so how'd you like it? Somebody asked like some people in like that work there asked us how we like it, and we're like, it was amazing. And at the time it was like nothing was like it. I was like, this is the most incredible ride I've ever ridden. And then they got off like, good, I'm glad you liked it because I was one of the designers on it. Like, so it was cool. And at the time, I'm like, I had a flip phone, so I'm like forever trying to dig through old stuff, going like, where's my flip phone? Do I have an SD card that's got on there? So that's one of my biggest regrets of not having like that time frame of photos and things like that. But to answer the question on that, as it stands now, it is. Why am I blanking all of a sudden? Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure.
Yes.
Yeah. So even though I don't consider that like the three like tentpole rides at those, because ultimately I'm thinking in my mind, it's Escape from Gringotts is like the signature ride in that area. Forbidden Journey.
Yep.
At Islands Adventure, that's that one, and then at Epic being the Ministry of Magic. So. Like you said, the Gringotts is actually one of the best ones. I love it. I still love it to this day. And that's another one I look at because I'm like, how are they making the parts move? And I'm like, are they doing this? They spin? No, it's track moving. I'm like, right on, that's cool. So yeah, when the big trolls try to knock you off the track, it's the whole track moving, which is great. Yeah, they do that and then they throw you. It's so well done. I love it. And even like the queue's amazing. The whole elevator ride thing, that fake elevator ride. I don't know if they do it much very often now, but when you first started, before you got into the main queue, when you first got in after you went through the bank, they would take your photo.
Yes, they don't do it anymore.
Yeah, they don't do it anymore. Yeah, the photo part was you were going to the bank to open an account, and they want to take a picture. Yeah, so which then you could buy at the end, of course. So it was always interesting. They were like, okay, everybody come over here. And then they'd have the team members would take your picture.
And they had the old school
right? It was great. So good. So well themed. Yeah. And that's one of the things that's kind of tough. Like, as you know, over this, you get to learn over the time, you understand, like, these are the things that existed when they first did it, and then now, okay, like, where do we cut back?
Yeah.
They start pulling this away, like the scare actor in Kong, like the 3D, that whole thing, that, and that's a whole nother story,
Let's go ahead and
Yeah.
poke
Right.
the bell.
Exactly.
That is the scare actor that existed in
So good.
Skull Island. So, as a pass holder that's been there for a long time, and forcing myself to go through that queue.
Okay.
I forced myself.
Such a good queue.
I knew it was coming.
Yep.
The first time that it happened to me, it happened to me. So it wasn't like, oh, I witnessed somebody else.
Right.
Oh, because, of course, they bait you. So just to kind of let y'all know, if you've never been on this ride, the queue is scarier than the ride. So as you're walking through, there are little portal holes. That's all I can call it. It's a hole.
Yep.
Right? So the first one, you look into the hole because you're nosy. And same thing like Mummy, we put your hand in there and blow the air. But if you look in this hole, you'll see that there is a guy walking by. Now, it's a cartoon character. You can tell it's animated, but it's kind of made to look realistic.
Yeah, it's actually a video of a person in the first one. Yeah.
It's a video of a person. But you can tell it's not a real person. So, and plus you can tell it's a screen.
Yeah.
No problem. So, you walk, you go past all this other stuff in the line queue. And the lady chanting and in the room, which was amazing. That animatronic is top notch. But now you get to the point where there's multiple little holes. It's like, okay, I believe it's 3 or is it 2?
It's 2. One on one side, because you're making a turn, so it's on. They can
one
this side or that
side.
Right, and that's how they can switch it up enough so you can stay on your it catch you off guard.
So, because I'm in a group, I'm so scared I don't know who else with. So, I didn't look in the first one. I looked in the second one. What was in there or who was in there, I still don't know to this day. But all they said was,
Did you run all the way back to the opening and you left the ride?
I know I peed in my clothes.
Oh, no. Just a little bit.
I know I did. I was terrified. I said, oh my God.
Mission accomplished.
This is the scariest thing This is the scariest thing I've ever experienced in any line for any ride ever in my life. So that messed me up. For years and years, I would just run past.
Right.
I would wait. I let people go forward.
Right.
And it'll be a spot in front of me.
Right.
And I was like, you can go past.
To give you enough,
run.
Just to give you enough of a gap to move.
Then I run past it.
Yeah.
Or I walk back like this. It terrified. I had nightmares. So that goes into why I don't go to Hollywood. But go ahead. Continue.
But once you get used to it, it's fine. So now in that queue, what's there? A little curtain.
Yeah,
it's what the person used to be.
Yeah.
And because it was Skull Island, so you can imagine a creature that would be coming out there. But yeah, so disappointing that is gone.
Yes.
It's always fun to watch other people when that's even better. And then they took the 3D away, so there's that. So anyway, it's still fun. I still go on it. People don't love the ride.
Right.
But
I think the comparison between Fast and Furious damaged that ride.
Right.
And when they took the 3D away, that made it even worse.
Right.
Because
the perspectives were off now.
Yeah, it's like, why?
Right.
Why did you take this away?
Right. Right. And then for the time because they have at the beginning of the ride, it goes outside. Yeah. They have a path that you can bypass that if it's pouring rain outside.
Exactly.
Which is fine. But there was a time when that outside was not open. They had to redo some things, whatever it may be. And I was like, is this the end of that too? And like you were saying, because of Fast and Furious, they're similar. They both came from the studio tour in Hollywood. A part of that ride and part of a section of that tour was put into the Kong one, and a section of that tour was in Fast
Yeah,
and Furious.
it's when the dinosaurs are chasing him.
Yeah.
That's what that was out here. That's the part.
And it's more effective. It feels more fun. Like they rock it enough, and so So again, it's not something they're gonna be like I've got to ride that every time I go. But if it's like a 5-minute wait, and you got something to do, and you want to be in AC for a bit,
it's real
very cold there. Yeah, so it's fun. And I got to visit Grandma every time I take the picture with my new phone. Get the better quality picture of Grandma. You know the ride, you know what I'm talking about, right? Yep. So it's fun. So I could just talk about it forever. So what was the question? So we're moving on to, we did Islands of Adventure. We know. Okay, so my favorite ride there was?
It was Hybrids.
Right. Okay, good.
And now we're at Epic.
My new love, Epic.
Yes.
Dream. There's a lot to love.
Yes.
There's a lot to love there. I've experienced it twice so far.
Mm-hmm.
Preview, so it wasn't too busy. And opening day, which thankfully we thought it was going to be nightmare busy.
They fooled y'all.
They fooled. They sold about 6,000 tickets. They're going to take 40,000, I think, as they said they can handle. So
we
were all shocked. Every person going, how could it be this? Like we'd be sitting just eating something, and then like you'd hear somebody talking. I'm like, could you believe it? And they're like, I can't believe it. Everything was a walk on. It was great. So I got to experience everything at that time. I didn't do ministry because it was down for most of the day. I did get to experience on the preview day, but out of everything that I've experienced there, I really fell in love with Hiccup's Wing Gliders, which is, again, another roller coaster. Okay, so I've got a theme. I got a love for roller coasters. I ride them. But now, now comparing the high-end Velocicoasters, the Stardust Racers, Hiccup's Wing Glider is probably like now getting to my point where it's like, I'm still enjoying it. I'm not like begging it for it to end.
Right.
When I used to be able to ride the crazy roller coasters like as many times as I wanted. So Hiccup's Wing Glider is in Isle of Berk, one of the worlds in Epic Universe. Mm-hmm. And the smooth ride, the fun of it, the story behind it, the little effects. I don't know if we want to spoil things or not.
No,
it's just sure.
Get your
I'm so locked into no spoilers.
Go.
Do it. Oh yeah, because everybody's like, I'm gonna wait till next year. Just do it.
Go
while everything's fresh.
Yes.
Because in a year from now, who knows when the paint's gonna be peeling and and people whatever maybe, So yeah, Hiccup's Wing Glider, which is based off of the How to Train Your Dragons movies.
Yes.
And it is the main character has created a way for new Vikings, ourselves, when we're in the world rather, to be able to experience what it's like to be flying with a dragon, but to be more efficient, he wanted to make a long vehicle that can get wings put onto it so he can fly high into the sky. But his dragon, Toothless, has a different idea, is a little jealous, and doesn't want us to go flying, so he launches our coaster too soon before the wings get put on. And in that little show scene, the wing is starting to go on, you see an animatronic of Hiccup and a beautiful animatronic of Toothless, launches you, and then you're very low to the ground, which is really cool. You go over the water, you pass by all of the different huts and things like that, or the village, where people live, and then you get to about the midway point, or a little bit past the midway point, where you get stuck in a nest of dragon eggs. Grunkles is what they're called. And you hear on the on-ride audio, which is beautiful, beautiful music on there. Mm-hmm. He says, we've got to get you, there's the eggs, we've got to get you out of there, because when they hatch, they explode, we've got to get you to leave. So he tries to get you to go, and you go up the hill a little bit, and then you come back. So as you land there, you see all the sparks and everything start happening. You go up a little bit, try to get away. He's like, no, I said you got to get out of there. You come back, and then all of a sudden, all the babies are hatched, and then he's like, okay, we got to go. And he launches it the rest of the way. It is so great. The first time I rode it, I got off that ride, ear-to-ear smile on my face. I was like, say what you want about everything.
It exudes joy.
Yes, it was so sweet and beautifully done. That I knew I was going to enjoy that, because I love the movies. I knew that I was going to enjoy that world, but didn't realize that was going to be the one that I was going to fall in love with the most.
Yeah.
It is incredible. Yes, there's Monsters Unchained, which is a beautiful, fantastic, amazing ride. Universal took the feedback from all the times when they were doing video rides and really took that to heart to make this so much better. Take the technology that they have and 1,000 times make it better.
It's still, to me, in my cynical voice, too close to Forbidden Journey.
Correct.
It's
the same ride system.
Close. I really expected something different, and of course getting stuck with my feet up in the air. That didn't help. So I kind of gotta reserve my absolute opinion for when I ride it again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to schedule that now. Me and my son got scheduling conflicts, so
yeah, it's tough.
It's like, especially with him coming from New York, is the issue is like, okay, well, what month? Because I was like,
Correct.
go for my birthday, go for my birthday,
Right.
go for my birthday, and now it's like, can't go for my birthday anymore because he got a scheduling conflict.
Right.
So it's like, okay, do we go in August? Is it going to be super busy before the kids go back to school?
There's that. There's
So
the heat,
yeah,
there's
it's
now,
like,
and if you have passes, they're not part of the passes
Right.
yet, so you have to buy individual tickets.
Yep.
And of course, that means like the busiest times they're going to give you more. It's going to be more expensive. So
Like,
if you're mapping that out too,
183 or something like that.
yeah, I
That's
think I've
crazy.
gotten the first one of this annual pass discounts. I think I got one for 150, and then the opening day was like 130, something like that, 132, which is still reasonable. That's fine, you know.
Course.
And we're just like all of the annual pass holders, like, please, just like let's make it happen. Let's do it, you know. So, but yeah, I understand. Like, you've got to really plan it out, and we know busy, and then forget it. August, very hot. Like, we know we're in Florida. I mean, none of the trees, of course, are all still pretty small. You know, you go to the Super Nintendo world, and you're getting cooked in the sun. You know, that sun in the game that tries to kill you. That's happening in the lens.
I don't mind the heat because, you know, born and raised here.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of the sun. So as long as it's bearable, and I take my water cup and refill.
I take my breaks. Get the sunblock.
Yeah.
Like that.
All that stuff got to be a part of your plan, because if you go there not thinking that one is gonna rain, especially during the summer,
it's umbrella.
Guaranteed it's gonna rain. So between the hours of 2 and 5 o'clock, if you don't plan for that part, and also that's a cheat code too, because the families with the kids don't like it.
No.
So they're gonna take the kids out.
Yeah.
So after the rain, beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
But you got the humidity. There's that too. So as the rain's like,
you're cooking.
You're cooking. Yeah. You're steamed. First you're getting cooked, and then roasted, then you get steamed. You know, you just gotta know. Or if you didn't, you're right. If you live here, you're used to it. If you're coming in from somewhere else for your family, maybe plan, see if you can do another time here. You know.
Or if it's one of those nights where, so far the latest has been 10 o'clock. But if they go to the 11 o'clock, come at 5.
Yeah.
Come at 5. Not do those 6 hours. Mm-hmm. You won't be able to do everything. Let's just get to the point where it's unbearably, busy. Yeah. But I periodically check the wait time. I checked the wait times yesterday. Yeah. So the longest wait time, Ministry of Magic, was 105 minutes, and Stardust Races was 15. Yeah. Mario, I believe, was 70. So it wasn't a lot of. Minecart Madness was probably like 50, 30, something like that. But it wasn't anything that jumped out to me and just said, okay, I wouldn't win on that.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see as it gets into the summer how, like, if the wait times go up dramatically, or if everybody is. I think it's still the mindset a lot of people are waiting.
Right.
Like, let's wait till next year. Let them work out all the issues and make sure that ministry is working every time. So maybe that's a lot of it that has to do where the wait times have been reasonable. So we haven't. It's being that it's so new. It opened up on May 22nd. So it's so new at this point that we don't know like the full, gamut of what it's going to be like on its busiest days.
Right.
So that's why I like to really try to plan around it. Go when there's not any school breaks or anything like that. Mm-hmm. Obviously, in those times, you get a lot of people from other countries like have the time off. So it's the days of the parks being super slow are long gone. Like those don't really exist anymore. It's just knowing like, can you plan for times? Obviously, I don't have any kids, so it makes it easier for us to make decisions if we want to go on an off time of year. Plan ahead, take a few days off of work, and do that. So it makes it worth it having annual passes, because ultimately, when I do get to go 2 to 3 times a year, which is I feel not very often enough, but it's still like it's.
But you got your money's worth.
You make
the money that you put into it, you got it.
Yeah, exactly. So. And that's why when people friends ask me, like, how many days should I go? What's the tickets? How do I get the best tickets? I'm like, just get an annual pass. Yeah. And then, even if
you live here.
Right. If you get a pass, if you know you're going to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's planning like, oh, family's coming down, this once in a lifetime
No.
thing, find ways. Use the travel agents that have the discounts and things like that. Whatever it may do, do your thing.
Yeah.
If something that you definitely want to do and enjoy it. I had my family come down at one point. They wanted to do it for many, many years, and they planned the whole trip. And I'm like, we'll meet you there, and it was nice because then at least when we go a lot, we know like, okay, we should avoid this, we should do that.
Mhm.
Let's make reservations here. I was never a person that ever used spreadsheets because I know a lot of people that are families that are having this once in a lifetime trip and maybe staying there for 2 weeks, which
Yeah, that's it.
bless them, like it's great, but they like doing spreadsheets and stuff like that.
On a spreadsheet.
Right.
It's not work.
Right. That's right. Exactly. Like
It's
leave it
fun.
at home. Right. Yeah. Now the parks, obviously Disney makes it a little more challenging where you have to plan better, and we're at a time of where like park maps don't really exist anymore. It's all on the app, so you're in your phone. So bring your extra chargers. Believe me, I took so many video and photo during that first day at Epic that I spent maybe a half hour using a charger in one of the restaurants, just chatting with a person that worked there. I'm like, just need to top off, so everything's all the batteries are dying. So, just really kind of playing out ultimately what you want to see, understand you're not going to be able to see everything, and just be thoughtful about it. And again, if that's something that you love, why not? Like, make the effort.
I also let people know that don't be afraid of single rider because no matter what, it's an individual experience. You don't have to be next to somebody and like you looking at them going, you might, but that's not.
Yeah, but you're looking at the stuff going around.
You look
Exactly.
to the actual ride.
Yeah. Would I say like if you had young kids, don't do that?
Yeah, please. No, it's for the
I've seen that happen.
Like, more so teenagers.
Yeah,
because
right. If you're an adult, teenagers, whatever, you're okay to split.
He
Yeah.
went crazy.
Yeah.
Because we got stuck.
Right.
And it wasn't fair to him. Yeah, his daddy was there, but he wasn't sitting next to the dad.
Yeah. Like, they're going to be the next car and your family's over there and the one kid's and the one next to you. I'm like, no, don't do that.
Don't do that.
Yeah. Do the thing where you're going to split off into two and then, but, just don't. Single rider's there for a reason and they tell you very clearly that your ride
will be
going to be split up. And which means that doesn't necessarily mean you'll be in front row, back row.
Yeah.
It means you'll be in maybe 2-3 cars later.
Yeah.
Like, because when there's just using the single riders to fill in, your part of your family that may have been there ahead of you, you'd be 5-6 cars back, and then they're waiting at the end. You're like, okay, meet you at the end of the locker. Okay. So make a plan. If you do get split up, yes, there's a rare occasion that you may end up in the same car. If they are filling it in, depending on the year, but plan accordingly and understand, and don't make the cast members or the team members feel bad and stuff like that. Like, don't blame them for this stuff.
Oh, you chose this.
Yeah, exactly. And that's always tough when people don't understand. Obviously, there's a lot of people from other countries that maybe don't speak the language, and when they're trying to explain to them, like, hey, you're going to get split up in this, and then they don't know, it makes it more challenging. So, I've seen a lot of, like, the good and bad in it, and then you learn from it. And that's why I go back to that whole thing where you talked about the Disney adult of like you appreciate it as an adult because you knew you may have experienced it as a child and it builds. If you loved it, that was the steps to get you where you are now.
Mm-hmm.
But know that you love it because of the fact you can appreciate it for what it is, the magic of it. I love the behind the scenes stuff. I always try to be involved. So if let's say it's themed,
yes.
So like when you go to Epic Universe, each portal that you go through, the people that are in those spaces live there. Like so they are in character. So I always try to greet the Vikings with Viking, like just follow that. Yeah. Or when we're in Batu at Hollywood Studios and tell them Bright Suns, like understand them, ask what their history is, like understand, because a lot of these cast members and these team members have learned who they are, who their character is. They're actors. Like, so then if you play with it, and you allow yourself to be involved in it, it becomes much more fun. You get a much greater experience. That's why, especially in Dark Universe at Epic, there is a lot of interaction. Igor's there, and these are
Dr. Invisible.
Invisible Man's there. The hounds that are in the Burning Blade, they tell you stories about what they did and what the heads of the monsters that are hanging on the wall and explain like that was the one that I caught, things like that. And they really get into it. And then this kind of goes back to when we talked about earlier about things that get pulled from the parks, like the scare actor in there. I fear that if people neglect it, like there's been weird things on people like grabbing Igor and to put him in a picture and stuff like that. There's like, if we abuse that, we don't appreciate that, how long is it going to be before Igor is gone from the land? Because Disney doesn't really do, like they got long gone of Mickey Mouse walking through the parks.
Right.
You have to stand in the line or you see him on a parade. Having the actors and the characters roaming the land is a gift that we lost years ago.
Yep.
And to get that back, we have to, if you love the theme parks, you really have to be respectful of that. Because I look at these things and I'm like, how long is it going to take before this is not here? And I've said that in other places, to other things over the years, and those things are gone.
Yeah.
And because that's the easy stuff to get rid of.
Of course.
The live actor, Rock and Roller Coaster, the live actor that used to be in the pre-show, gone for years.
Yeah.
You know, so I see things, I'm like, okay, I can see how they can change this where it's not going to matter anymore. And that'll be cost cutting, and one of the first things we'll do it is the abuse of it.
Yeah.
So
even the people on the stilts outside of Mummy.
Yeah.
You know, if you walk up and you kick the stilt, you know,
right.
Like
they're at a risk there, right, of doing that. And the fact that they still have them for all this time, it's impressive, you know. So that's my biggest fear, because I feel like when it comes to the social media aspect of things with TikTok and whatnot, people are trying to be like clowns on them.
Yeah.
You know, no disrespect for anybody that does that like respectfully, but I feel like that entices that behavior to the point where I've seen stories of people that work at Halloween Horror Nights because there's alcohol involved and things like that.
Yeah.
They're getting touched inappropriately and things like that, and people quitting because they feel like they're being abused, like by people that come to these events. So like those are my biggest fears of those like things that we lose. So, you know, you've got to keep it all in perspective when it comes to like how that works, and knowing that yes, you're spending a lot of money, yes, it's hot, but understand that those cast members and those team members are in costume. Sometimes look like they're wearing wool, you know, in 95-degree weather. They're trying their best. Please be respectful, and they're not getting paid much either, too. Yeah. So, you know, you've got to really appreciate that and know if that's not something that you can understand and appreciate, and don't spend the time. Like, hopefully anybody that's watching this is people that love it, because that's why I watch YouTube videos and stuff like that of all of those people that do these, because I know that they appreciate it and I love it so much.
Mm-hmm.
If this is not for you, cool. I'm glad you're listening, but, you know, knowing that you got to have that perspective. So, and that's how you enjoy it, and that's why it's always something I love. Yeah.
Now, my last question.
All right.
One ride for the rest of your life.
One ride?
You can never ride another ride.
Okay.
What is that ride?
So I can go to any park that I want.
Any park. You can be anywhere in the world.
Gotcha.
One ride for the rest of your life.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with the obvious answer as far as like the location where it'd be, because with Epic Universe having so much to do that's not a ride.
Yes.
If I was only allowed to ride one ride.
Yes.
But still be able to enjoy the park.
Yeah.
Without riding a ride.
You enjoy the park.
Yeah.
But you only ride one ride.
Now I have to think of like, would I get bored of wing gliders over and over again? Doesn't mean I have to ride it over and over again. That just means I can only ride that one. I would probably have to still stay that, yeah, because of how much joy that brings me. It's so cute. It's so fun. And again, yeah.
The classics got kicked to the curb.
Yeah.
But that's impressive.
Yeah.
That tells you the technology that they put into this ride.
Right.
That tells you the theming that they put into this ride.
And I know when ultimately when I was thinking about this too, I was like, well, if we are discussing like if you can only go to one park, it's the answer. I had to really think about it, and the answer still would be Epic, because of the fact this is the first Florida theme park of that scale that has been built. We're not talking about Fun Spot, those smaller things like International Drive, things like that. This is the first major one since '99 when Islands of Adventure was open, and not counting Volcano Bay, because it's a water park, so it's not. So taking the feedback of what they learned from the rides they've built in the other parks, understanding the technology that exists, understanding how people visit the parks, they've got families, they've got the thought that they put into Epic Universe is leaps and bounds of all the things that you're like, I wish this park had this.
Yep.
like some an example of it that I haven't personally had to take advantage of, but I know families that have the child swap. It used to be just a place where you could sit and then you wait. Great, that's great that it exists. But these new child swaps over here have a full bathroom in there. They have changing tables.
Mm-hmm.
So they got beautiful TVs, themed chairs and stuff to sit at. They really said, okay, like how do we elevate every element of this park? How do we get rid of the frustration of cramped areas? How do we deal with the locker situation where now there's a mob of people? It drives me crazy. I'm like, have a designated locker person, maybe two, to carry everybody's stuff and put them in the locker. You don't need your family of 50 people all cramming into there for one person to feed a locker of all their stuff. Especially in Harry Potter land. This is ridiculous. So now, with the thought is, let's do a two-sided. So Velocicoaster has it.
Yes.
They've rolled it out. More parks are starting to add that. Where you go on one side, you queue through, you put all your stuff, you do face recognition now. You don't even need to have your ticket on you because they are strict about don't have
Didn't work for me. Chocolate.
I had some. The person behind me popped open and I was like, wait. And then it was their locker. I'm like, get out of my picture. So yeah, I had a little struggle with that. But like just all the thoughts behind that too. So that's why I would lean to, okay, if I had to, and that's why I wanted to pick up a ride that was there.
Right.
Yes, I would greatly miss all the Disney stuff, but knowing that in that space, it is so elevated at this point that there'd be still great things to do and I wouldn't feel restricted just because I had to ride one ride, That's all I have the time for, whatever, yeah. So it's tough. It's like your children, even going when they're like, I would actually take out my Disney pass when I'm at Universal with the vice versa. I'm like, what?
My bad.
I'm like, they would make a comment. I'm like, I love all of you the same.
Did you switch over to facial for Universal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, of course. I'm like,
yeah,
please. I got all. I'm like,
walk in.
You want to do the blood sample? Fine.
Yeah.
I'm fully bought in. All right. There's no privacy. Please.
What is that?
Yeah, we all gave our life away when we signed up for Facebook ages ago. Right.
So with that, Andre, I want to say thank you.
My pleasure. This is amazing.
Of course.
Why does it have to end? Oh, we got 2 more hours. All right.
I want you to shout out your YouTube channel.
Tell
people where else they can find you.
Yes, so it's themeparkgo.net. I had to choose that one. And also Blue Sky, Theme Park Go. Just to update my logo recently with some help from friends. So hopefully we'll get to have more content as it goes. But if you want to see, when we were talking about earlier about the early days of documenting, I have a video on there of my first visit to Universal Studios in 1997.
Yes.
I had the giant video camera that I spent most of the one looking through a tiny little black and white screen. And then when I was like, I've been here before? Yeah, it was. I was here before. Yeah.
I'm going to definitely check it out.
Check it out. Okay.
So, of course, I'm Ken with Ken's Questions. Of course, Hits, Cuts, and Bruises. Make sure y'all follow. Anybody need photography work, Ken's Lens. Y'all follow me over there. And don't forget, like, comment, subscribe. Y'all make sure any questions, y'all let us know. DM, comment, whatever y'all want to do, we'll answer those questions for you. I will use my little bit of expertise that I have as far as theme parks. But, of course, I had to bring in an expert. So,